Hello! It's free agent fever, free agent frenzy in the NBA. Oh my God.
Kakagulo sila.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a wild free agent season so far. Parang a few days pa lang tayo into free agency, but so many developments already. Already, there's been a big power shift in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
Suddenly, the Spurs look. For me, they look even more dangerous than the Warriors do because of. Let's get down to it. Because of signing LMA, maybe LaMarcus Aldridge. A lot of people were saying he could probably be the savior of the Lakers, LA to LA, but that didn't happen. Sorry to my friends and family members who are in Los Angeles and love the Lakers. Just not gonna happen. There's something wrong with that team.
Well, Lakers, for some reason, I think, I'll say this out loud, I think a lot of players don't want to play with Kobe.
Wow!
Okay.
So you're putting the blame squarely on Kobe Bryant.
Not exactly.
You said him.
No. It's a factor. O, yun na lang.
Wow!
Kung ilang percent yan, ilang percent yan.
Sige, that
depends on the player.
Let's move on that platform. Why would you not want to play with someone like Kobe who has 5 rings, a proven winner, competitor? Why would you? Maybe the closest thing to Michael Jordan for a lot of people, no? In this generation, why would you not want to play with someone like that?
I think for one thing, they worry about how competitive he is, how intense he is. They just
maybe too intense.
Too intense that some of them can't handle it. Maybe it's a negative feeling, or ano ba ba pwede? Maybe they're intimidated by him.
Mayabangan.
Pwede rin yun.
Mababakawan.
Absolutely. You know what? I was gonna say that last, but you pulled it out of my mouth.
Hashtag bakaw daw.
Diba? So pwede rin yun. I mean, there's reports that Kobe is not ready to relinquish being the man.
Wow, even if he only has about 2 years max left on those knees.
Yeah, so it could be a factor, and at the same time, if you look at it this way, the roster for the Lakers just can't cut it for some of them.
Yeah,
it's just.
If you're LMA and you want to win, you can't go to LA from Portland.
Yeah, go to a worse situation.
It's great. Ang mahirap kasi sa Lakers, it seems like they really targeted so many stars this offseason. They were really building up to this offseason. They swung at the fastball and they struck out.
Yeah.
They drafted D'Angelo Russell because they were, I think,
looking for a big man.
Yeah, saving up their front court space for maybe LaMarcus Aldridge, maybe DeAndre, maybe Kevin Love, maybe all three. Yeah, who knows, diba? But none of those guys came to Los Angeles. Despite the weather, despite Jack Nicholson on the sidelines, despite Hollywood, all the glitz and glamour, the show of Showtime LA. Wala, pinili nila mag San Antonio. Pinili ni Monroe mag Milwaukee. Pinili ni Kevin Love to stay in cold Cleveland, Ohio. Wala, inisnap na lang yung Lakers.
First, one thing also pala, maybe ayaw din nila mag Lakers. I read this somewhere. Mataas din kasi yung tax doon, like the highest.
Yeah.
15%.
15%.
Mas mga 30 to 50.
As opposed to Texas, where you have no state tax.
Mas mababa, diba? So it might play a role at the same time. Siguro, pressure of early.
Mas bagay.
Diba?
Ang daming pressure nun kasi Lakers ka na nga. Tapos Kobe pa kakampi mo. Tapos ang laki pa ng buwis mo para maglaro sa ganong atmosphere, diba? Parang medyo talo ka nga.
So,
mahirap.
Mahirap din talaga. So,
too bad for the Lakers.
On the constellation for the Lakers, they have a lot of guards.
Yeah. They have Jordan Clarkson, Kobe, D'Angelo Russell, may Lou Williams pa na ba?
Nick Young pa.
Is he an advantage?
Okay, so I'm not sure they have enough basketballs in Lakerland to make it work.
Mahirap yan.
Maybe it will work, maybe it won't.
Normally, for a team to be successful, they have to have all their players healthy. Pero pag healthy lahat yan, Kobe, Nick Young, sa Lakers, wala na titirang iba. Those two guys, 60 shots per game.
Lou Williams is a good player, but he's primarily an isolation guy. So.
Yeah, and spot-up shooter, diba? ISO, pull-up, gano'n talaga siya.
We'll see.
So good luck to the Lakers. Ang peg ko sa inyo siguro, you're gonna finish maybe 13, 14.
Iso ko 10.
19! As presently built, talaga, 9-10.
But look at this. If
Kobe can carry this team, like the Kobe of old, then maybe 9-10. But maybe even
remember
8.
This, the Blazers are gonna go down.
Yeah, but still, you think LA is better than Phoenix? You think they're better than Sacramento?
Mahirap kasi Sacramento kasi nagdagdag ang Sacramento.
Ako nga, baka pili ko pa Minnesota over the Lakers.
Uy. We'll see. I'll be for another debate.
Minnesota na yan.
Maganda. Actually, you know what? I might go back to mga 12-13.
Tingnan natin. Let's stay within Los Angeles. Let's talk about their crosstown rivals. Na medyo nag-strike out din. Alis sa LA lahat ng mga tao. The Clippers also swung hard this offseason. They took in, they traded some assets to get Lance Condance, born ready.
I'm not sure.
The 8th grader, Lance Stephenson, who was a bomb this past season for the Hornets.
Played horrible.
He's going to play on the last year of his contract right now. Hopefully he'll play better than last year so he can negotiate for an even bigger contract when the TV deal kicks in for the NBA. But aside from Lance Stephenson, they also added veteran Paul Pierce, Doc Rivers apostle, one-time champion from the Boston Celtics, who did pretty well also with Washington.
Yeah,
so
you know what? I thought he'd stay there in Washington.
Yeah. Pero yung lure siguro ni Doc Rivers, iba talaga. So what do you think about this? I think they have a pretty deep backcourt wing rotation. You got Chris Paul. I think they still have JJ Redick.
They have Redick still.
You have Jamal Crawford, but I think he's still there.
He's still
right?
there.
So you have Paul Pierce and Lance Stephenson. Those 5 guys.
The wing guys are
wing
set.
And backcourt, maganda.
But now you're looking at a very
laking butas naman,
5 spot. They traded
the LA donut hole.
DeAndre Jordan's gone, and they traded, even though he wasn't used much,
Spencer Hoss.
Wala
na kayong big man. Center niya si Blake Griffin.
Big man na I'm trying to recall who they drafted. Pero last wala ata silang first pick. Sa first round.
I don't even know. Oh, God.
Parang second round yata sila nag-pick, and I'm not sure who they picked. So
right now,
the 5 spot might be a big problem for them.
May Glenn Davis pa ba sila? Meron pa ata.
Well,
pero, I mean, I don't think he'll do really well.
Still not answers the 5
Last
spot.
I read, they're actually looking at JaVale McGee.
We forgot to mention pala sa Lakers, si Roy Hibbert.
Okay, sige, Roy Hibbert. Sige, let's talk about that for like a minute. Roy Hibbert to the Lakers, will he move the needle, make an impact?
Depends on who we see though. We have the bipolar kasi siya.
Grabe.
His gameplay, not his mental. Maybe, actually, you know what? Maybe his mental.
Okay, naman to.
Kasi, di ba?
Tumabyo ka ulit.
Kasi that's what they say is, if he doesn't get the ball offensively, he disappears on defense.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Ganun siya eh. So,
ito lang. He could not take the pressure to be, a top 3 center.
Point.
He was in Indiana. Can he take even more pressure playing with Kobe Bryant as the only big guy in Los Angeles?
That's a very good point.
That's crazy.
This team might implode early.
Kaya nga eh. 12th, 13th place.
You're right.
I hope I'm wrong though, for all the Laker fans out there. But the Clippers aren't. I think the Clippers are still a playoff team. Because, Griffin is still maybe not all first team material. Mm-hmm. Maybe Chris Paul also.
Absolutely.
So you got 2 guys who are all world players at their positions. Pwede pa rin talaga.
Pwede pa din, but they need to fix that.
Yeah.
They really
Do you think JaVale McGee is enough to be a serviceable, solid, workable center?
If they actually pick him up, he is somewhat similar to DeAndre Jordan. Not as good, but he might be able to, if he matures, maybe on 75%.
Kasi JaVale is like 20 and about mid-20s, late 20s with the brain of a 12-year-old.
Pwede. I mean, DeAndre used to be mature.
Natatakot na ako.
He got better.
Natatakot na ako kay JaVale kasi sobrang stricto ni Doc Rivers, di ba? Kung magkamali, kapag magkamali nito si JaVale McGee, parang yengyaw to. Sasabunin to.
Hindi yung problema. Si Chris Paul ang problema.
Si Chris Paul sa kanya.
Si Chris Paul. Doon siya mag-worry.
Kaya daw umalis DeAndre. Kasi dinuro siya ni Chris Paul.
Meron daw eh. There's friction daw.
Sorry na lang.
Well, sabagay, maybe Chris Paul might be nicer to him because it's if he signs, it's his first year. You don't want to push him away this early because they need him.
Pati na natin.
Diba?
Okay, Ross. Now let's talk about maybe the biggest name, who traded one city for another. Marcus Aldridge. We talked about him a little bit na kanina. But now, what kind of impact will he have in San Antonio? Is it going to be as good as a lot of people expect? What do you think?
You know what? His numbers might suffer somewhat, but his contribution is in floor spacer, rebounds, pick and roll.
Not shot blocking.
Shot blocking, hindi. Defense, so. But I think he fits perfectly in their scheme. Okay, pwede talaga siya. Yun nga, pick and roll, pick and pop. He does that well. LaMarcus was one of the 3 guys who averaged 20-10 last year. So, it's there. And I think part of this has to be the passing of the torch, passing of the mantle from TD to LMA. Okay, I'm not sure, Feeling ko lang, I'm making an assumption that somewhat idol ni LMA si TD growing up. Because this guy is a Texas boy.
Yeah.
Okay, similar to Bosch, this guy grew up in Texas. Although mas magaling na siya kay Bosch ngayon.
Wow!
It wasn't that way before,
Coming from a Bosch fanatic. Chris Bosch.
Diba? So, Aldridge also improved his range to 3 points. To 3-point range. So, pwede talaga eh. He can work in their system. Ball movement, tsaka outside shooting.
Does his addition, automatically make San Antonio a title contender?
Absolutely.
Would you say top 2, top 3, top 4, top 5?
Yeah, I'd say number 2 sila kay
Wow!
Warriors. Sure, yeah.
Wow!
And think of this, the team that eliminated them last year, the Clippers, are they better this year?
Of course
I'm not so sure.
No, they're not better this year.
Di ba tapos sa free agency? Hindi pa tapos. So, pwede ba?
Sino pupunta dyan, di ba? Wala.
So,
Robin Lopez nga, pumunta ng New York. Costa Cufos nga.
So, you're looking at so, chances are, I think, at the very least, West Finals sila. Dapat.
That should be the target, at least. If you're the Spurs, no? So they're gonna have a lot of expectations again, and definitely LaMarcus gives them a different look, gives them another absolutely amazing offensive weapon or option. And I guess this eases the fears of San Antonio fans, no? Parang if they're thinking, retire na ba si Duncan, si Manu, even if those guys call it quits next season, that's fine. You've got LaMarcus, you got Kawhi, maybe Tony Parker good for a couple more years. And, this is the Spurs. This is one of the best run organizations in the whole, association. So a lot of people will want to play for this team. The only thing that could wreck this team is if they get Rajon Rondo next year. So please do not get Rajon Rondo.
One small concern for the Spurs is kaya ba ni Duncan mag-center? Kasi LMA I think doesn't want to play center for sure.
I think this will be a bigger adjustment for TD kasi but to be quite honest, he is a center.
He used to play one.
He's only listed as a forward for the longest time. Kasi nga, kalaro niya si David Robinson dati, kalaro niya si Thiago Splitter dati. Kaya ganun. Pero if you look at, may Malik Rose ka pa dati. But yung laro talaga niya naman, pang sentro. So I think it's going to be fine. And I think they're playing with arguably the best coach right now in the NBA, si Greg Popovich. So, if anybody can find a way to make all these parts move as one, that's going to be Greg Popovich.
It should also be very beneficial to Duncan where he won't be required to score as many points.
Yeah, I think that's going to ease him on the offensive end.
I think this will also help
make
Kawhi.
Him an even better defender.
It should also help Kawhi because let more floor spacing with LMA, meaning maybe yung magdo-double, iwanan si Kawhi, allows him to do a lot more.
Yeah.
So maganda. This is a great move. Biggest move so far of the offseason.
So good job to San Antonio for pulling this off. Good job for...
Did not expect this.
Kudos to TD and to Danny Green who resigned, who all took pay cuts, I think, no?
Yeah. Sabi mo nga, wink-wink, di ba?
Yeah, wink-wink.
Naisip yun, pero sige.
Pare, pag-retire ng mga yan, Spurs pa rin yan. San Antonio's gonna take care of these guys. R.C. Buford's gonna take care of his boys. So good job to San Antonio. Now let's move across state to the Dallas Mavericks, who... who won the DeAndre Jordan sweepstakes.
Wow, imagine that.
DJ is the new center. Si Tyson Chandler, lumipat na sa Phoenix, but they got an upgrade in DeAndre. I would say he's an upgrade.
Yeah, I would agree.
So DeAndre Jordan, he will make Dallas. Well, he should make Dallas
better defensively.
Much better defensively.
Offense, I'm not sure.
He should make their offense a little bit more versatile. Kasi he can, si Dirk yung sa labas. Siya yung sa loob. All they need is a good point guard, which they don't have yet.
I was about to say.
So they grab a good point guard, throw those lobs to DeAndre, find Dirk, and Wesley Matthews, who they also just got on the perimeter, and they've got a pretty solid team. Actually, kung si Rondo hindi lang engots-engots.
Petulant.
Ganda na sana itong team na to. Rick Carlisle pa yung coach mo.
Champion coach.
So, good. I mean, good signs for Dallas. No, sana DeAndre meshes well with the team. Sana Wes Matthews fully heals quickly enough from his ACL to contribute to the Mavericks also. But I see the Mavericks as a strong playoff contender because of this move. As long as they get a solid playmaker. Siguro dapat si Brian Heruela dyan lang pumunta. Hindi na sa Barako. Itong Barako sa Blackwater yung pinaggagawa sa PBA.
Brian Heruela, I mean, I haven't seen him throw a lot of lobs, but I mean, matangkad mo si Adrian, just throw it up there.
Yeah.
He'll grab it.
Okay. But speaking of solid point guards, let's talk about Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard is the only starting 5-member left of the Portland Trailblazers team. Sobrang kawawa nito. Robin Lopez, New York. LaMarcus, San Antonio. Nick Batum, Charlotte. Wesley Matthews, Dallas. The only starter left from that promising Portland team was Damian Lillard. What do you make of this, Ross?
Well, if I'm Damian, he got signed to an extension in 5 years for
he's the face of this franchise.
120 million ata. So
it's Dame time in Portland.
I'd be sad maybe for a few minutes and then I'd remember, I just resigned. So
okay, from Damian's perspective, but from a Portland fan.
For a Portland fan.
Ikaw Portland fan ka dati.
I used to be Drexler.
Clyde the Glide.
It's sad because they've been competitive. However, they've reached their certain parang threshold nila. Di na sila makalagpas talaga. So, I understand the need to rebuild, but it happened so sudden. I wasn't expecting it. I don't think the fans in Portland
do you think Portland drops from the playoffs?
Absolutely. 100%. I'd be surprised if they'd be competitive.
Like Portland or Lakers?
Yeah, good question. Hirap eh. I mean, I need to see. I don't recall who else is in the Portland roster other than Ed Davis, a couple of their centers, Myers Leonard and Joel Freeland. So, not sure eh. It's tough to say right now, but I might go to the Lakers just because of Kobe.
Okay. Ako din feeling ko Portland drops out talaga. I think the Lakers might be better than them. I think Minnesota might be better than them as well. It'll be really tough for Damian Lillard. So sayang yung Portland. They're the team that really will probably drop off.
Because if you look at it this way, Damian Lillard had a somewhat down year pa last year.
Yeah, that's true.
Diba? So, paano if it suddenly just when defenses focus on him, baka hindi na siya makapag 20 points eh.
Okay. From a promising team that will probably drop off to a promising team that has improved because they signed Greg Monroe. Let's talk about the Milwaukee Bucks.
Okay, this is good for them offensively. Okay, yeah. Monroe is very good back to the basket guy.
Yeah. Is he gonna play center or power forward?
I think he's better off as power forward. Why?
Sino center nila?
Yun nga eh.
Antetokounmpo.
He has better rim protection.
Pwede. Diba? Are you really gonna have him guard Timofey Mozgov?
Siguro, I guess right now I'd put Monroe as your de facto starting center. It doesn't mean he has to play there the whole time.
On paper, he's just
on paper, especially the East where
this is a very tall and long team. You have maybe MCW as your point. You've got Chris Middleton, may Giannis Antetokounmpo ka, may Greg Monroe, may Jabari.
Pero pati sila, I'm not sure if
it's a good young team. And, I don't want to jinx the Bucks, but I think they have a pretty fair shot at maybe finishing top 4. Remember, they finished 6th without Jabari Parker this past season. In Jason Kidd's rookie coach year in Milwaukee. So, they pushed the Bulls to 6 games, right?
Okay, but when you say there are 4, who are the 3 before them? Cleveland.
Cleveland. Cleveland, may Atlanta pa rin ako dyan. And then, Cleveland, Chicago, Miami.
Interesting.
As long as Miami's healthy.
Okay.
I mean, you got Bosch, Wade, Dragic,
Whiteside.
Hassan Whiteside, as long as he doesn't get suspended. Solid.
Ito lang, although bold statement top 4, I'd say playoff sila. I think still in the 6 to 8 range, especially since, I think they're not under the radar anymore. Right. And as much as Monroe makes them good offensively, defensively, whoa.
Yeah, but they were a good defensive team last year under Kidd. So,
but this guy, if he plays center talaga, bababa yung kanilang defensive awareness because of him. They hit Monroe in Detroit because they had this guy who played a lot good defense.
Drummond.
Andre Drummond.
And maybe that's why Giannis is there to cover for
Pwede rin naman. It could work. I'm excited to see it.
So we'll see.
Playoffs talaga for
Milwaukee
sure.
should be one of the more exciting teams this season.
I think if they don't make the playoffs, it'd be a
disappointment. Big disappointment.
They should make the playoffs.
Makes you wonder what if he was still there off the bench as a backup center.
So, by the way, since Sanders benign out yan, that means he can actually sign with the Clippers or Lakers.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to play basketball.
He
wants to play bowling. Mag-bowling ka na lang, Mr. Sanders.
Marami rin sa California yan.
Ito naman, last na pag-uusapan natin. Talking about rim protection, great big man. This young guy, just signed the biggest contract ever in basketball. Anthony freaking Davis. That manimal, that man-child, the brow. $145 billion in 5 years. Holy. Wow. Grabe talaga. I mean, he deserves it.
Does he deserve it? Okay.
Yeah, I definitely think he deserves it. I think he's the future of this team, if not this league. He's going to be so dominant, if not this season, maybe next season. I'm not sure if that'll make New Orleans a top-tier team. But his presence alone, his presence alone makes this a very, very good team. Because Portland drops off, because the Clippers will probably drop off a little bit. I think that, New Orleans can stay in that top 8 if they have a good run.
Yeah,
maybe even move up to number 7, number 6. If Anthony Davis has an MVP type season, who knows? He might even move up to the top 5 in that conference. He's just that good. And
totally agree.
If they are healthy, this Pelicans team, kompleto to eh. They're a pretty solid team. So,
although they have a problem with Jrue Holiday.
Yun nga.
Yeah, but maybe if they go into a season expecting him not to play, they can adjust. Ako lang, the only downside with this contract is, if meron negative Anthony Davis, is he somewhat has a bad track record for injuries. I'm not saying he's injury prone. Not saying that at all. Not at all.
But so did Steph Curry. And
then
so they became
MVP
and won the championship.
So does that mean? Because Anthony Davis has had problems with his shoulders. Weird, because massive na shoulders.
Yeah.
And he's had problems with ankles as well. So does that mean kailangan siya from Nike to Under Armour, parang Steph?
Wow!
I'm kidding.
Wow! Taking shots at Nike.
Oh, yeah. Wala lang, idea.
Wala na, hindi tayo sponsor ng Nike.
I'm kidding. No, but I think the downside only is, if he gets hurt, that's it. But
I think he'll do well, and I think he deserves that contract. I think Pelicans are going to have an even better season than last year, I think. So
this guy's an MVP in the making.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, he should be a defensive player as well.
He should be All-NBA first team again.
I wouldn't be surprised
for defensive player of the year.
If he wins both MVP and DPOY in the same year. Kaya niya eh.
Yeah. But to do that, the Pelicans have to
win a lot.
Much better, yeah. So that's it for our free agent fever episode on the Hoop Nut podcast. Keep tabs on other developments in the NBA free agency season. And of course, we're gonna...
Oh wait, we forgot to talk about the biggest free agent.
Sino?
Si LeBron. He's still unsigned.
Ano ba? Cleveland na yan. Are you crazy? He's gonna stay in Cleveland.
We'll see.
Tristan Thompson, Cleveland. LeBron, Cleveland. De La Vedova, hindi ko alam. So, tingnan natin, di ba?
Import na De La Vedova.
Pwede, Jeremy Lin, pag walang team, Asian import, PBA. So, tingnan natin. Pag-usapan natin PBA next. Mga pala, pure foods, talo na.
Yeah, next night, FIBA.
Pag nag-finals na, preview natin yan.
Okay.
Alright, thank you very much for watching and listening. Please hit us up on Twitter. Handles at the bottom. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on YouTube. And of course, you can find us on the blog as well. Thank you very much.
See ya.
This is Rolly and Enzo saying goodbye.
Be safe, stay dry.